Something tells me my routine is not going to go viral like the other guys. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Film Junkee Live. It's Monday. It's hot in SoCal today. Holy Lord. How we doing out there? Hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do all the things. Please do. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend myself. We got some things to talk about. Hopefully you guys are doing really good. Who's out there? Let's see. We got Anna right here. Happy Monday. I will always stand with Gal Gadot. It's time Warner Brothers releases the Ayer cut and Schumacher cut and restores the Snyderverse as an Elseworlds while supporting the DCU. There might be a lot on that list right there, but hey, you know, some of them are cheaper than others, for sure. Ryan, what's happening? Hey fam, I'm finally after a violent stomach virus for 3 nighs and was hospitalized after a seizure on one of those. Jeez, man, if I had a drink, well, I had my water, so cheers, man. Cheers for that. My God. Poor guy. That sucks. That really sucks, man. We got Kenny right here. Hey, Dave. Hope your Monday is going well. 3 days until the MLB opening 2025. Hell yeah. I'm excited for baseball again. Always going to baseball season. Hoping my Cleveland Guardians be champs. Well, they had a pretty good season last year. I mean, my Giants are doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good during the spring, but that really doesn't mean much. And then, of course, being in the same division as the goddamn Dodgers, it's a little difficult. So, but yeah, Thursday, definitely. Thursday is opening day. That's going to be great. We got Ninja Gamer. Who cares if you don't get along with who runs the Ayer cut account? I didn't think that anybody did care. I didn't think anybody did care. It's a shame you'd be petty. You'd put petty differences over pushing for the Ayer cut. When the hell did I say that, Ninja Gamer? You always come in hot. You're not all the time, but you come in hot. When the hell did I say I wasn't going to do that? I always support the Ayer cut. I'm not going to spam my Twitter account if that's what you think what's going to happen. Think it's run by others now. Yeah, it's just other people that don't like me, sure. But what matters is everyone trend Wednesday. Okay, I don't spam my Twitter accounts. I'll post a couple of things. Okay? Jesus Christ. Why don't you ask them to stop being petty? Ask them to stop being petty for a change. Anyways, moving along. Mr. Nobody, July can't come any sooner. Fucking feels like July today. That's for damn sure. Whoo, Jason McKenzie, what is happening? Good to see you. Hoy, hoy. Always great to see you, brother. And then we got Mr. Axel right here. Saw Bill and Ted 1 for the first time. Really enjoyed it. Good. Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. Really love that. Really love it. Really love it. So it's always been one of my favorite movies. And what's going on, Brendan? And yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the opening. I did an opening sketch. And hey, what's going on? Nesu from New Zealand. Good to see you. And of course, we got hard-boiled Mr. Eric right here, where the Steelers might be getting Aaron Rodgers this year. I don't know if that's a good thing. Is that really a good thing? I don't know if that's a good thing, but yeah. If you guys were wondering, and again, subscribe, hit that like, thumbs up if you haven't already. We've got plenty to talk about. We're going to have some Supergirl stuff that's happening, some interesting things. Of course, we talk about a little bit of Superman things, and then, of course, whatever else is coming in the DCU. We got Elizabeth Olsen saying some stuff about Scarlet Witch and the Avengers, and then, of course, box office. That lovely box office from, that happened over the weekend when it came to Snow White. And then Saw 11. What the hell is going on with Saw 11? So we'll be talking about all that. But, the opening sketch. I don't know if you guys saw that. And just in case, well, I'll show it again, just in case you guys didn't see it. But the opening sketch, if you guys saw over the weekend, something went viral. This one dude, his name's like Ashton, I forgot his last name. This big brig shithouse of a man showing his morning routine. And a lot of his morning routine has to do with this expensive water that comes in a blue bottle, like Saratoga water or something like that. he would pour into a bowl with ice cubes, and he constantly would, put his face into it. So it went viral, and a lot of people were just like, of course, making fun of it. And so I made fun of it myself. And like I said, if just in case anybody who didn't see it right at the beginning, here it is again. And there you go. Just something done. Hey, it's been a while since I've done a little sketch on the show, so why not? Why not do that? I just figured, I actually have a place that I live now that I can actually have room to do some stuff. So, yeah, and then I thought, well, I'm the vodka stream guy. I'm the vodka guy. So why not joke about the fact that I would actually put vodka in a bowl and then, splash my face and everything on that. So I just thought I'd make fun of that a little bit. Totally did not use real vodka. I totally did not. Of course, I wouldn't waste vodka on my face. Oof. That would burn. So I even thought about doing like a whole thing. Like maybe I should do like a whole routine. But I was like, nah, that's gonna take way too much time. And then I had like other ideas, but I was like, nah, just do the bowl vodka thing. That'll work. So, D-Man, am I on? Are you ready to rumble? I thought you were saying, am I on Rumble? I was like, okay, I'm not on Rumble, but yeah. So, anyways, I know I should get some vodka sponsors. Hey, if anybody knows any people that work with any of the vodkas out there, let me know, because that was one of the things that I was always kind of trying to do. For a minute there for the vodka stream, I remember I kept going to Bevmo and trying to pick out different vodkas to drink that night. But, that gets a little pricey because, you have the different vodkas. And I go for cheap vodka because, let's face it, I'm not swimming in it, especially not swimming in vodka. But, sometimes I'll get something different. But I usually go for that Seagram's, as you saw in that video right there. So, yeah, it'd be cool if, like, one of these days that can actually happen. But we'll see. But hopefully you guys are doing good. I do want to give a shout out, of course, to my executive producer for this week. When it comes to Film Junkee Live, there's not going to be a DC Fanimated this week because Scott is on vacation. He is up in the mountains somewhere, probably constructing a puzzle right now, if I saw his last post on Twitter. But we got Justin Nouth. That's right. Justin, very much a part of the Snyder Cut community, the movement. A friend of Zach. He was part of the, part of like the little crew that Zach really attached himself to when it came to fans. And he's a good dude, a great hang. Hung out with him a few times when it came to Full Circle, when it came to Rebel Moon and everything. So thank you, Justin, for supporting the channel. And if you want to be an executive producer, support the Patreon. Just kind of going through that, And of course, we I think maybe this weekend. I know last weekend I thought maybe we'll do like a Patreon member stream where you guys can come on and be part of the panel. I ended up going somewhere. I've been busy. Every Saturday it's just been busy ever since I moved. But I think this weekend probably is good. I don't really, as of right now, I don't have anything going on. So I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. But anyways, and yeah, it is a hot one today. We have like a small little heat wave that is bursting through. It's now officially spring, of course. So California was like, all right, time to get a little warmed up. And it was 90. It got up to 90 degrees today. And it's supposed to be 93 tomorrow. And I told you guys, in my new little office studio here, it's the warmest room in the house. I currently have the AC on, ceiling fan on. It's doing the trick, but it definitely is warm. I do have to, before the summer months happen, I'm going to get like myself a fan or another fan because sadly, the AC is not as strong, man. The AC at my old apartment, obviously being way smaller and, not a lot of room, you turn that AC on, it was killer. But in a two-story house, a little bit different. Definitely a little bit different. So, had all that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit, too, because I did a lot of movie watching over the weekend, which was cool. I watched a lot of movies. I've told you guys time and time again that I love it because, you know, some streaming services, I think Amazon and Hulu are really the only ones that do it. But I think, I mean, obviously they all give suggestions on what you could watch next. But what I love about Hulu is it just automatically starts playing the next thing. But I think Amazon also does it too. They just go, hey, if you like this, maybe you'll like that. So I watched a few movies over the weekend. First off, I watched Starship Troopers. Again, and I tell you what, that movie, because obviously we know that Neil Blomkamp's going to be doing a new Starship Troopers that is going to be mostly based on the book. And the last time I watched Starship Troopers, it probably was like a year ago or something like that. I don't know. I love the movie. It's one of those classic cheesy sci-fi movies. It's great. It's got bad acting, bad writing, bad visual effects. It's got it all, baby. It's got it all. But I tell you what, the worst character of Starship Troopers is Carmen. And first off, it's kind of funny too because they live in Buenos Aires, right? Which is South America. You got Johnny Rico, you got Dizzy Flores, you got Carmen, don't even know her last name, but all kind of Spanish, Latin-y kind of names, and they're all white. I got that first off. That was kind of funny. Just one of those things I thought about. But I am convinced now, guys. I'm convinced because at the end, because it's an injustice that Dizzy died, okay? And we've been talking about that. I even talked about because, you know, Dina Meyer, let's face it, Dina Meyer is just, she's aging like a fine wine. And with the whole announcement of the new Starship Troopers, and then, of course, there were people that were, I don't know, giving her some shit, and then she posted like a video, and then people were like, Team Dizzy and everything. And, you know, let's face it, Carmen was the true villain of Starship Troopers, okay? First off, they told Denise Richards to smile throughout that whole entire movie. It's like, yeah, no matter what the scene is, whether someone dies or you're scared or you're whatever, just smile, Denise. Smile. Show those pearly whites. Watch it again. She smiles so goddamn much in that movie. It's ridiculous. And she sucks. She sucks. The whole time, she sucks. She's flirting with the other dude. She breaks Johnny's heart. And Dizzy was always there for Johnny. And then she ends up dying. And then at the end, Carmen literally gets impaled through like right here by one of the bugs. But then she acts like it was a fucking paper cut. You ever notice that? Like they're like celebrating. She's just like, yeah, I'm okay. I got impaled right through right here through my arm and my boob right here, but, you know, I'm bleeding like crazy, but I'm fine. I'm like, no, she's an alien. She's working with the bugs. She is the reason why Dizzy died. Fuck Carmen. All right, that's it. That's all. That's my little spiel right there. But other movies I watched The Prestige. I put on The Prestige because I was like, why not? I saw it, and I'm like, I haven't seen The Prestige in a while, and I was like, I'm going to work on things. So I watched The Prestige, had The Prestige on. That movie is a fucking masterpiece. If there ever was, I mean, Christopher Nolan it just seems like everything that he makes is a masterpiece. That movie's a masterpiece. And then Hulu was like, hey, you like that masterpiece? Well, why not have a masterpiece from Michael Mann? So then Heat started playing, and I'm like, haven't watched Heat in a long time. Fucking masterpiece. And loved that. And then all of a sudden Hulu started doing that thing where it's like, well, now I'm gonna show you some weird shit. It put on a movie called Ultrasound. Never heard of it. Really dug it. It was like a long X-Files. It was like a long X-Files episode. If you ever come across a movie on Hulu called Ultrasound, check it out. It's kind of interesting. It's about like hypnosis and shit. It's very, very interesting. Very mind fuckery, I tell you what. And then after that, I watched a movie called Next Exit, which was also a weird one. Never heard of it. And it was about basically the technology has found out that an afterlife actually does exist. Ghosts do exist. So you can voluntarily kill yourself to go into that afterlife. And there's a whole process to it. So it follows these two strangers that have to drive across country to get to this San Francisco laboratory thing. And of course, there's a lot of drama along the way. Kind of an interesting one. Dug it. So check those out. There you go. Anyways, what spoilers? What spoilers did I give you? What's going on? We got Mama Film Junkee in the chat right there. So anyways, okay, so you talk about spoilers for Starship Troopers. The movie's been out for 25 years. Come on. Anyways, okay, let's get to the tweets. I've been rambling at the start of this. Let's start off right here, which, hey, we got something cool. We got something Batman that is going to be coming about on April 2nd. Right there, we got DC has announced a DC High Volume Batman, a weekly audio drama podcast that will adapt stories from across Batman's history. The series launches April 2nd in collaboration with Realm and will begin with a 4-part adaptation of Batman Year One. So we got a new Batman podcast that's happening, and that sounds like it's going to be something pretty cool. I don't know where you can listen to it, though. Where can you listen to it? I'm guessing on wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcast, Spotify, all the different ones right there. But that's pretty cool. So we're going to have some odd. I guess we're going to probably in the next week or so, we're probably going to get the cast who's going to be playing which character. They had that one podcast. I forgot what it was called, and I totally forgot about it. But they had another one right there. So, yeah, sure, it's going to be on all different kinds of things. Pretty interesting. And then we got good old Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds has been pretty quiet on Twitter for obvious reasons, but, he had to post this little video right here, which was pretty sweet. Short little video celebrating 10 years of his involvement, or 10 years since they started filming the first Deadpool movie. So he posted this right here, and it's pretty sweet. It's actually pretty cool. So just basically just rewinding all the way through all this stuff, and I should probably turn down the music because God knows, copyright. But yeah, this will totally give you, this will make you have a seizure right here possibly, but it's all in black and white, and it's all just rewinding all through all the Deadpools, the 3 Deadpools, of course. So pretty cool. Not bad, but yes. And then, of course, showing the test footage, the whole test footage thing right here, which what started it all.
Oh, hello there. I
bet you're wondering why the red suit. Yep.
Well, that's so bad guys can't see me bleed.
There you go. Thanks for 10 wonderful years, Ryan. Did you see Justin Baldoni? Who was in there somewhere, I think. If you screenshot it and just like if you pause it just right, you see him, Anyways. That whole thing is still going on. I don't even know. I'm like, what the fuck? Who knows? I don't that whole drama stuff. I'm just like, what? And then I talked about Mr. Scott McClellan, of course, my DC Fanimated stream host, and it was great having Scott on the Vodka stream. Been a while since he'd been on the Vodka stream, and we had a great Vodka stream. If you guys didn't see the Vodka stream this past Friday, go check it out. We had Josh Harp, who, of course, is the State Farm Batman Joker, the Batman commercial Joker. Had him on, as well as the director of the short film that he's currently in, that we also talked about, Joey Falsetta. And we had him on. Scott came on too. And we had a great conversation with those guys for about 2 hours. And then, of course, had a great conversation all together. It was just a great vodka stream. It was great having Scott back, and he, of course, had a great time. But I'm sure you guys did you guys see his unboxing video that he released? Oh, that's right. He got the McFarlane exclusive figure that all of us want. And you can see it right there. You can see that fat bat. You can see that fat bat right there. I have to turn down, of course, the music because good old Warner Brothers will be like, hey, you can't do that. But he did an unboxing of his Batfleck BVS figurine, which is a gorgeous figurine right here. Yeah, it's not the standard McFarlane. This is the more pricier version right here. And it's got even like the BVS logo that it sits on. Look at that thing. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. Look at the detail, holding the grapple gun and everything. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. The mouth's a little weird, but hey, what can you do? The mouth is a little, I don't know. But the cape, look at that cape. Showing that cape porn right there. Showing the cape porn. And then, of course, there it is. So he's he's collecting these certain exclusive statues that are much more detailed. So he's got already 3 Batman. He's already got 3 Batmen. He's got another one right here. And then, of course, he's got the Armor Bat. He's got Wonder Woman. And then, of course, he's got Superman. So just showing off that little collection right there. Pretty good stuff. So congratulations on him for getting that. So what else we got? Let's see. Hey, you know, we got Dustin Massey. Every now and again, I show what he's created. And again, I mean, I don't say Snyderverse and animation in the same sentence because, you know, some people get upset. They get offended. But that's what Dustin's been doing. He's been trying to develop like something when it comes to Snyderverse and just putting his art out there. And there's nothing wrong with going, hey, that's pretty cool right there. Of course, there are people that are Snyderverse fans, diehard Snyderverse fans. That's all they talk about. But they will not acknowledge this because they hate the fact when you hear something when you hear the animation word, oh, they just, again, they get offended. But he drew Darkseid. Look at this right here. I mean, come on. Look at that. So he's drawing some Darkseid right there and his animation style. And again, just appreciate the art. And what I always love about this stuff is the fact that people are creating. They're creating. Okay? While nothing's happening in that whole universe, fans are creating things. I love that. What's going on, Clone Avenger? We got King 5942 right there too. Good to see you. Oh, here's a beautiful. Oh, I mean, you want to talk about nostalgia for anybody who grew up in the 80s, 90s, especially in the 90s. You know, a little bit in the 80s. Maybe you were a child. See, I don't remember the 80s all that much, but I remember like half of it or like 4 years of it at least. Well, maybe half of it. I don't know. You know, again, born in 83, so you don't really remember like the first 2-3 years of your life. But, you know, towards like the end of that decade. But mainly I'm a 90s kid, obviously. Grew up in the 90s. But this picture right here, and I love it when we have these Twitter accounts that post this kind of stuff. But look at this picture right here. Just pure nostalgia. You got a DeLorean open, parked in front of a fucking Blockbuster. That's awesome. You see that right there? You just go, oh, man. Jeez, there just needs to be like another, I don't know what car could be parked next to it. I mean, if it was the Ecto-1 Ghostbusters car, sure, that would be pretty sweet. Or the Batmobile, the 89 Batmobile. That would be pretty sweet too if that was parked right next to it. I mean, of course, it's not the Time Machine DeLorean. It's an actual DeLorean, but I mean, that's nostalgia all wrapped up right there. You gotta love that. All right, what else we got here? Huh? Hey, we got a new member out there. Hey, what's going on? Thank you, Mr. Clone Avenger, becoming a new member. Appreciate it. Like I said, we do a members only stream after every Wednesday. And like I said, if as of right now, like I said, it's just been busy, guys. But I'm thinking I'm probably gonna just stay home this Saturday, finally, and probably do a stream where if you're part of the membership program of YouTube or Patreon, you'll be able to be part of the panel, like a Saturday vodka stream. So, and the DeLorean at Blockbuster store, epic nostalgia. Yeah, just crazy. And then, yes, guys, this is how I felt. So first off, naturally, you know, it sucks. I can't get upset, but every now and again, it's just like, come on. You guys know I've been keeping up with the show Severance on Apple TV. And the season 2 finale happened this past week. And of course, naturally, there was I had to, anytime that I saw anything Severance on my Twitter timeline, I had to brush past it really quickly because it would have spoilers, because people just can't wait. They have to just start talking about spoilers, start talking about the ending. So I kind of got it spoiled for me naturally, but I was like, but whatever, that's just part of the gig. It's part of the gig. You're online, you're doing all that, and yeah, people just suck. Like, I'm not one of those people. I haven't talked about any spoilers when it comes to Severance. But I posted this tweet right here. So finally got around to watch the Severance Season 2 finale. Some questions answered, but then all new questions came about. Season 3 is greenlit, which means it will shoot this coming winter, obviously. That means it will likely premiere at the beginning of 2027, earliest end of 2026. And then, of course, had the Chris Farley Tommy Boy gif right there. That's the thing. I mean, it took 3 years from Season 1, Season 2. Now, Ben Stiller has assured fans it's not going to take that long. But still, they just recently greenlit it. It seems like they're just still they're still writing the scripts. And unless they decide to change the season, because both seasons take place during wintertime. And I think they like that cold aesthetic. It really adds to the show, the cold aesthetic. Anytime they're outside or something, or they have those beautiful, I mean, the cinematography for this goddamn show is so goddamn beautiful. So when you see that snowy kind of cinematography, you know, when they show like those big shots, like outside Lumen and when they're driving somewhere. So I'm assuming they're going to have to wait to shoot this winter unless they decide to, oh no, this is actually going to take place during summertime. They're going to have to, like, you know, it's going to be not till that. So yeah, it's probably the earliest we're going to get Severance Season 3 is at the end of 2026, which is a year and a half from now. And I'm sitting there going, especially at the end of Season 2, and I won't spoil it, don't worry. I'm just kind of going, God damn it. Because, again, there were some questions that were answered of what the hell certain things that were happening. And then something happened, a twisty little ending where you went, oh, Jesus, are you kidding me? And now we got to wait like a year and a half. I'm like, yeah. No spoilers. Don't worry, D-Man. No spoilers. I'm not going to say any spoilers. But let's just say you're going to get some questions answered, but then there's going to be all new ones that you're going to have too. That's what's so great about the show is they keep people on their toes, man. And then let's do some more nostalgia. Why not? This is a very nostalgic type of Film Junkee Live that we're happening on this Monday, March 24th. Remember the Warner Brothers stores? You know how like Warner Brothers now is just, I mean, I get it. You have to look at it as a business, the business side, but then it sucks when you're, you know, not on the business side. You're a fan. You've been watching Warner Brothers content for your whole life. Obviously, they have Looney Tunes. They have that whole thing, and apparently that's all been wiped from Max. And, of course, the whole Acme versus Coyote, you know, Coyote versus Acme thing. It was supposed to be a tax write-off. You know, Warner Brothers very much, just like how Disney was always like, hey, you know, they have their animated stuff. Mickey Mouse was their mascot, obviously. Disney, Mickey Mouse, mascot. Warner Brothers, for a moment, really had Bugs Bunny as her mascot. And this Twitter account right here, Old Tunes, when Warner Brothers used to be synonymous with animation, Bugs was basically their mascot. Remember that? You'd see the Warner Brothers logo, and Bugs Bunny would come out from behind it and then lean up against it and take a bite of his carrot. I think the carrot was like his cigar or his like alcohol or his drug of choice. That's for damn sure. I mean, I get that rabbits like carrots, but I think he was probably crushing some of those carrots up. And anyways, okay. But then remember, we had these Warner Brothers stores, Warner Brothers studio stores in the malls, and they were awesome. And look at Bugs Bunny front and center. Those were the days. Gotta love that. Remember that? Oh, it was so good. I loved visiting those stores. Thank you, Darren, Mr. Laugh Now, Cry Later. Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you for being a member for 38 months. You're awesome. But yeah, we used to go in. I mean, they used to have Disney stores too. I think they got rid of those as well. I mean, let's face it, malls are now failing. I mean, I used to live right around the corner. That's where I would go to the movies at a mall. At that mall, which I miss going to that mall. There's something about a mall that's kind of nice. There is a mall in the next town over where I live now. I haven't been there. I've been there before, but I haven't been there recently. I might have to like take a little stroll through that mall, see what it's like. But if I remember when I went to it like a few years ago when I used to do work in this area, it wasn't that impressive. It wasn't that impressive of a mall. You know, the mall that I used to live to, it was slowly dying because there was like no outside shops. But I mean, malls were a thing. It's gonna get to a point where we just have VR goggles on and we just, visit a mall or a Blockbuster through virtual reality. Oh, what else we got? We got this right here. So apparently, okay, this is something. These are two individuals that I did not think I never thought that I would want them to team up. But when I saw this right here, I went, okay, this is something fantastic. Because there was like this whole, I don't know exactly the context. I just saw the tweet from Discussing Film right here that basically said they were on stage, they were talking, and here we go. John Carpenter just agreed to compose the score for Bong Joon-ho's upcoming horror film with Bong after Bong asked him. And look at Bong right there. So excited. John Carpenter is laughing his ass off, and I was like, yes. So Bong Joon-ho is going to be making a horror movie for his next project. And John Carpenter might, or he agreed right here, so he might be doing the score for that. That might be the best thing ever. That might be the best thing ever. Please, please let that happen. Let that happen. My God, let that happen. But we'll see. Hopefully he keeps his word. He should. Why not? Keep your word there. Keep your word. All right, what else we got? Oh, okay. Did you guys see this? I'm sure you guys did. So we got the studio. The studio is going to be coming to Apple TV. It's actually premiering on Wednesday. So thank God I could still watch something on Apple TV because apparently the studio, I've been hearing nothing but good things about the studio. So Seth Rogen led, about how studios are when it comes to big stuff. Why not? Let's do this, come on. So we got Seth Rogen that's going to be leading this, but the big thing is how many notable names are part of the cast. And they released this today, to show all those recognizable names in this cast.
Let's do it. I kind of viewed it like I was putting a band together. I'm a huge fan of Catherine Hahn, Ike Barinholtz, Catherine O'Hara. Chase is so funny. Bryan Cranston.
Movies.
Martin Scorsese, Charlize Theron, Zoe Kravitz, Zac Efron, and Olivia Wilde, Greta Lee, Anthony Mackie, and Ron Howard.
Hell yeah.
Dave Franco, Quinta Brunson, Rami Youssef. I'm stressed out just thinking about it.
So there you go. Did you guys see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Maybe you didn't see it, but I'll show you. I'll show you. Oh, man. What stands out with these names right here? I'm sure you see it. Zack Snyder. And we already knew that Zack Snyder was a part of this. But they spelled his fucking name wrong. What the hell? They put an H. They put an H instead of a K. Ah. Ah. Oh, man. It's like, what? Did they really spell it with an H? Oh, man. Of course. Of course. They did that on purpose because Seth Rogen, he's a Joss Whedon fan. Just kidding. Well, I like Joss's thing. Oh, they hate the man. He's like a joke to them. Shut up. It's not that. Somebody made a mistake. If they really hated the man, they wouldn't have had him in there, Black Red. Shut up. Don't be like that. Yeah, Seth Rogen hates Zack Snyder. I can't stand the guy. Slow motion. No, come on, jeez. Now, somebody who did that fucked up. Or they did it on purpose, so then we'd be talking about it. I don't know. That could be that conspiracy there. So, anyways. And then, of course, 20 years since The Office, and they posted this right here. Celebrating 20 years of The Office. And they got everybody pinned up right here. The entire cast right here. We got pictures, we got stickers, we got all the stuff right here. Celebrating 20, yeah, it's crazy. 20 years since The Office premiered. I remember watching those episodes. Where was I living? I was the second place I lived on my own with my roommate, one of my really good friends who I'm still friends with right now. We used to watch so much of The Office, and yeah, it's just crazy. There's 20 years, so cool. The British Office? No. British Office is not bad. I like Ricky Gervais, so. His name is Zachary. It's not that deep. Yeah, it's not that deep. I know, that's the thing. It's so weird. Isn't that weird, though? Isn't that weird that his full name is Zachary, and it has an H, but his short name, they change it to a K. He changes it to a K. But not everybody changes it to a K. That's the thing. It's so weird. Names are weird like that, you know? Names are weird like that. I mean, my shortened name adds a letter that's not even in my full name. You know, my full name is David. There's no E in there, but I'm Dave. I'm Dave. Of course, my mom will never call me Dave. She refuses. Even my dad, same thing. But yeah, and there's people, even like some of my older friends. I noticed that it's mainly my female friends will never, my female friends that I've been friends with for for years and years, they will not call me Dave. Yeah, they're like, no, I'm not going to call you Dave. Sorry. But it's funny because not even my dad, my dad won't do that. And of course my mom won't either. My brother, I think my brother has, actually. I don't know. So it's finally happening. We've been hearing about this. We've been hearing about this Friday the 13th. This Friday the 13th prequel series that's supposed to be coming out. Something tells me this is going to be like, and I still haven't watched it yet. And one of these days I'm going to visit it because it's been around for a while, actually. But they did like a prequel series to Psycho. Norman Bates and his mom, they did like a prequel series for that. And I heard it was really good. And I think it had that one actress who was in like the whatchamacallit movies, just blanking on everybody's name and everything right now. But they've been talking about doing this Crystal Lake series. And it was shelved at one point, but then I guess it's not shelved anymore. But they have Jason's mom, Pamela Voorhees. And, well, she's gonna be a MILF because it's Linda Cardellini. That's right. So that's that's who we remember as Jason Voorhees' mom, Pamela Voorhees, and that's who she's gonna be now. That's who she's gonna be now. I will be tuning in for sure for that one because, all right, that's cool. So, yeah, see? Mom Film Junkie says, oh, yeah, she'll never call me Dave. It's fine. It's fine, But, and then, of course, yeah, Dick is short for Richard. It's very interesting. Yeah, names are weird like that. Bill for William, you know how it all is. But, yeah, there you go. Linda Cardellini is going to be Pamela Voorhees. So that should be very interesting right there. And then, yes, did you guys see we're going to be getting a new Final Destination Bloodlines trailer is going to be showing up tomorrow. Sadly, I forgot who distributes Final Destination. They suck. Because last time I showed the teaser, they fucking copyrighted it and all that stuff. So I'm not going to show you essentially the teaser trailer just shows somebody who works at a bar who grabs a glass, it breaks, and then, of course, it gets into the ice, so you see that sheer glass right there, and then it's like, oh boy, what's going to be happening? And then, of course, they say, trailer tomorrow. But the biggest thing that got released when it came to this, and I'm sure we'll see him in the trailer, may he rest in peace, the man himself, and yeah, you could tell that he definitely was He was fighting that cancer because you could see the weight loss right here, but good old Tony Todd, man. Tony Todd, there he is. So they released this image of him right here. And yeah, you could totally tell. You could tell he got pretty skinny right here. So just sucks, man. Cancer. Fuck cancer, man, I tell you. But there he is, returning. So I'm sure we'll see him in the trailer tomorrow. I mean, maybe I'll do a trailer reaction. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, there he is right there. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. And then how are we feeling about this? Because I really had no idea that this was actually going to be a thing, or I remember hearing maybe stuff about it. I mean, Blumhouse, they just do shit. They just do shit, which is fine, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. I like Blumhouse. I like the fact that they do these movies for low budgets, and they really just kind of like, hey, here we go. We're doing this movie now. They're doing a Mummy movie. Yeah, that's right. Remember how, like, Tom Cruise? Remember they were going to do the Dark Universe, and they thought they really had something with, like, Johnny Depp, Javier Bardem, Russell Crowe, and, of course, Tom Cruise. And then, they released the Mummy, and it seemed like it was a good idea, but then it bombed because nobody cared about Tom Cruise taking on a mummy and everything, even though there were some pretty cool action sequences, but overall, the story and everything about it, it just didn't work. It just did not land. I don't know. There was something very off about that Mummy movie. Sofia Boutella playing the Mummy. I like Sofia Boutella, but it was kind of interesting. I mean, they were trying to like, hey, let's make it a female. And I was like, well, she was okay, but at the same time, it's just things didn't work. So they scrapped that whole thing, even though they were trying to set up foundations for this dark universe. I think a lot of people just was like, hey, just do a sequel to The Mummy and bring back Brandon Fraser and just do that whole thing again, because those movies worked. Even the one with Jet Li. It's not the best one, but hey, the first two are fine. But we have a new Mummy that started filming today. That's right. So they posted this right here. They posted the slate. They started filming today. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Who is Lee Cronin, you ask? Well, he directed Evil Dead Rise, which was a pretty damn good sequel to The Evil Dead. I love the Evil Dead franchise. I don't think there has not been a weak entry to the Evil Dead franchise. I love the first one. That always near and dear to my heart. What Sam Raimi, his first movie, what he did and made that movie with like $20,000, I think it was, $25,000. That he made that movie back in 1978, 79, and he did such a good job with that, just the way that where he put the camera and everything. And then, of course, when it came to the sequel, he started doing more of quirky, weird things with the sequel. Kind of changed the story, which was weird. And then, of course, you had Army of Darkness, which kind of changed things again. Very interesting about all this stuff. And it kind of turned into a little quirky, whatever, Sam Raimi kind of thing, which I was totally fine with. And, of course, they had, Ash versus the Evil Dead series, and I enjoyed that. And then, of course, they had the remake of the Evil Dead, which was Fede Alvarez who did that, which was a pretty good remake, not going to lie. And then, of course, they had Evil Dead Rise, which is directed by Lee Cronin right here, and I enjoyed that as well. So I've enjoyed all the Evil Dead stuff. I enjoyed what he did with the Evil Dead Rise. So I'm curious of what is going to be coming from this Mummy right here. We'll see. We shall see. All right. And that's all the tweets right there, guys. We made it. All right. We made it. We made it. We made it. We did it. Not that many tweets, but hey, what could he do? All right. Let's talk about some DC news. Let's go to the DC news. All right. So we got a few things. Let's see. Well, okay. First off, this is what's funny right here. So this was funny. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, because a lot of people got fooled by this, and I just thought it was pretty funny. So the first thing, let's see if I could find their initial tweet here. They tweet a lot of things. Damn it. Let's see. Where's their first initial tweet? I don't know. People were screenshotting it. I can't find it now, of course. It's not the tweet that maybe because people were translating, because it's DC Japan. Okay, so DC Japan, we'll just talk about their initial tweet. And then, of course, I'll translate it. So DC Japan decided to tweet something out that said tomorrow, basically teasing something that was going to be happening. This was like on Thursday or Friday or something like that. And they were basically just going like, hey, something Superman was coming out. And naturally, everybody's like, oh my God, what's happening? And I saw that, I went, I don't know. I just didn't really pay attention to it because I'm going, all right, DC Japan is just going to tweet something. It seems a little strange, seems a little whatever. So I'm like, I'm not even going to really acknowledge it. But then when they finally did post what it actually was, well, all it was is the fact that on July 11th, they're also releasing Superman in Japan. That's pretty much it. And of course, they released a little trailer thing. Just a little short part, a short little trailer. So yeah, basically announcing that yes, Superman will also be coming out the same day as the United States. Which, yeah, cool. I mean, sometimes, like I said, when it comes to different territories, sometimes there's like different gaps. But it's coming out in Japan the same time. So that's good. That is good, I guess. But there you go. And then when it comes to lanterns, no hype whatsoever. Yeah, absolutely. Well, in your world there, the Black Red, probably no hype for you, but there's plenty of hype out there, trust me. I always love that when people say like, yeah, nobody cares. It's like, no, people do. People actually care. You're just in your little bubble. That's fine. Stop with the hyperbole, all right? I hate hyperbole because it's like, no, there definitely is hype. That's why people were freaking out when they were teasing something tomorrow, and I saw a bunch of people that were going, "Oh my God, are we getting some from DC Japan?" Because there's hype. Anyways, all right. So we got a couple of people who have joined Lanterns. First off, we got right here, we got Sherman Augustus. He joins the cast of Lanterns, and he will play John Sr., the father of John Stewart. So we have this man right here. Which, yep, he looks like he could be the dad of John Stewart for sure. And then there was somebody else that was also, let's see, I think DC Films. Whoop, we're not talking about that yet. There was somebody else I thought that was, all right, maybe I skipped it here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, this guy right here. There we go, this guy. Also, we got J. Alphonse Nicholson joins the cast, and he's going to be playing the young version of John Sr. So basically, both of these actors are playing the same character. We have the young version and the older version. So you can expect, as series do, you're going to have some kind of flashback episode that has nothing to do with the main characters. You're going to have John Stewart Sr. We're going to be getting probably a complete episode with him. So that's going to be cool. John Cena? What? Senior. So they were cast. That's pretty cool. And yeah, we had Jason Momoa, of course, talking to EW about the same stuff when it comes to Lobo. Not really much there when it comes to that. So, all right, let's get this out of the way because I'm like, we got a couple things right here. I mean, okay, so another thing, DCU leaks has more comments from these Superman screenings. I mean, I don't know, these Superman screening stuff, when you hear about stuff, I mean, yeah, it can be kind of exciting, but then when you go, yeah, you hear this, you hear that, but at the same time, it's just people's opinions and whatnot. But I'll give you the list right here from DCU Leaks that basically talked to somebody and got these reports from recent Superman screenings. One quote said, not a comedy, but did have funny moments in it. I know a lot of people just want they just want to believe that it's nothing but dick and fart jokes because, it's almost like they have a bias. I don't know. Characters aren't who people think they are. So that one got me kind of going, what? Characters aren't who people think they are. Interesting. Online speculation is dead wrong. The fuck does that mean? Are you throwing shade at Jeff Snyder? I mean, what are we doing here? That's pretty much it. Those are the 3 bullet points. 3 bullet points right there. So we have that. Get that out of the way. And then we have this right here that some people were talking about. Because there was this talk about a Smallville sequel series that was going to be animated. It was going to be animated. And when it came to the Talkville pod, which of course is Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling, they do that, the Talkville pod. And basically, the animated sequel series to Smallville is off the table for a bit since James Gunn and Peter Safran took over as DC Studios heads, according to co-creator Alfred Goff. I guess he was on there. And apparently they were just kind of saying stuff like, well, they're really focusing on their Superman, so other Superman stuff is kind of just not being talked about right there. And then naturally people start going like, well, what the hell, man? What the hell? If they're focusing fully on DCU and not doing this other stuff, if it's only just like these are the only characters, and then people started being worried about, oh, is this kind of like what's going on with Matt Reeves and his Batman when they're going to be focused on the DCU? But I'm like, no, let's pump the brakes. I mean, the Smallville pitch and the Smallville animated series, I guarantee you it's going to happen. Guarantee you it's going to happen. I mean, James Gunn and Rosenbaum, they have a really good relationship. I mean, for shit's sake, James Gunn, he's only gone on a handful of podcasts, his being one of them. I would not be surprised if this eventually does happen. Although, we're all the angry people saying, how dare they do an animated sequel series? I mean, I thought that was blasphemous right there last time I checked. So different fans are like, oh yeah, we could, okay. But hey, I just was like, okay, animated Smallville is okay. Sorry, I don't mean to stir that little pot, but it's fun because, those guys, they hate it when I talk about animated Snyderverse. They hate it. All right, now let's go over this right here. So we have somebody new that has entered the set photo sphere. I don't know what you want to call it. But we have somebody new that apparently has been posting set photos and has been keeping up with that. He gathers the stuff. I think partially he's involved with this. I follow somebody who handles certain things on Instagram, but it's definitely not this guy. And he is kind of going like, hey, he's basically going like, hey, got some footage from the Supergirl set. And he started posting images. Now, I hope I'm probably not going to get in too much trouble, I don't think. I'm going to just show him like real quick. So first off, blue screens. What's going on there? We just got a bunch of, tractors and bulldozers and all that stuff. But what the hell is that in the middle? I don't know. What's going on there? They're outside now? Interesting. So why all of a sudden they moving this outside? I don't know. That is that you would think. They just needed that. What I'm hoping is, they didn't want to have just studio lighting and studio this, studio that. Maybe they wanted some natural light. That's my guess. So you have that. Then constructing this. What is that? All right. That looks pretty elaborate, whatever that is. Surrounded by a bunch of crates. What? Okay. Very interesting. He did post a video, though, too. He did. He said the third Supergirl set under construction seems like a building. So they are building a building. What is that? Who knows? So there's probably going to be some ships, maybe a crashed ship. I don't know. But there's going to be something. They're constructing things outside. They said in that press event that it was halfway shooting. So it seems to me like, all right, now they're going to be maybe shooting the climax. I don't know. And maybe they just needed some of that natural lighting. Who knows? But one thing that this Twitter account did say, and it got everybody going, what? What? Yeah. And who knows? Hopefully it's not just clickbaity bullshit. But it is interesting. Here's a tweet. I have the Supergirl costume picture. What? Do you really? Do you really? Or were you just trying to drive traffic to your Twitter handle so then you could post your videos and post the stuff? Because he's got he's got the Supergirl set video link, and then of course another one that says Eddie Red attacks member of the public or something like that, something else that's on set or something like that. I don't know. There's something else. I'm kind of wondering what that is. So I'm kind of going like, interesting, very interesting. I don't know. Is he going to release it? Is it a blurry photo? Is it fake? I don't know. So I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be a fear. If there's going to be a fear that there's going to be some kind of leak that's going to happen. They're actually going to be shooting where people can take like drones and shit and get to the set and get some pictures. Will James Gunn just be like, fuck it, we got to release an image of Millie Alcock in the costume? Hopefully that does happen because I'm anxious. Very anxious. And hey, why not? Have a picture with her and Jason Momoa as Lobo together. Blow up the fucking internet. Why not? Could, but I don't know. So that's what this guy, Unbox PhD. And everybody's been looking at his channel and just like all eyes on his channel. That's for damn sure. So why am I more hyped for the Supergirl movie than the Supes one? I don't know. It's a subjective thing, Black Red. I don't know. You can only answer that question, which I think I can answer it for you. You do not care about, you don't like James Gunn and you don't like the new Superman. That's probably it. You have a bias. Just saying. Man, you're on a good one. Or maybe the movie trailer looks like trash. There you go. There you go. You don't like that. You figured it out. You got it. Yeah, is Scott McClellan here? Hey, there he is. Scotty Pants. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're enjoying your vacation up in the mountains. Up in the mountains. Now, we got one more thing. Well, we got a couple more things. We got this right here. This is pretty cool. We got promo art. We got some promo art for Superman that's, I guess, going to be maybe, I don't know what's going to be a part of. It says right here, new promo art for Superman movie. The art style appears to be like Jorge Jimenez, who is known to be doing some official art for the film. And he posted this right here. So it's a Daily Planet cover that has Superman on it. Of course, it's all drawn and everything. Kryptonian heritage, human upbringing. So it's like they know that. This could be great. This could be a great planet, but making it great starts with each of us. It's about what you do. It's about action. So having all this right here. So something like that coming about. That's pretty sweet. So we got that. And then, where's the other part? I posted it. All right, here we go. So we might be getting a 5-minute Superman clip. That's right. They might be going back to those ways where you see a movie in IMAX. You see a movie that, of course, is associated with Warner Brothers. You see it in IMAX, and guess what? You get like the first like a little opening scene, 5-minute scene. They did the last time I remember them specifically doing this, and maybe there was another time they did it too. I think they did something with maybe BBS. I don't know, but I specifically remember, and I forgot what movie it was for. But I remember going to an IMAX screening of, I forgot what movie, but they showed the opening scene for The Dark Knight Rises, the whole plane sequence, and it was amazing. It was awesome. I mean, it's not only, they've done this numerous times, but apparently, according to this right here, major group on Facebook, when it comes to Thailand, this is going to be happening in Thailand right here. They posted this. This was like saying, let's say, exclusive in IMAX, meet the 5-minute special clip from Superman before the show, a Minecraft movie, April 3rd onward. So in front of a Minecraft movie, we might be getting a 5-minute clip of Superman, maybe the opening or something like that, just to build up some of that hype. If they are really confident in that opening 5 minutes, why not? They've done it before. Just don't do the fan screenings. Okay? Just don't do that. Don't do the fan screenings like you did with The Flash, because really that was a mistake. That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Don't do that again. But if you're going to be doing something like this, by all means. Because I remember they did something for BVS, the Ultimate Edition, for something too, where actually you could go, before it got released, the Ultimate Edition, they like showed like a full long trailer for that. I remember they did something with that too. So gonna be kind of interesting. Something kind of interesting when it comes to that. So that's good. So build up that hype right there too. Build up that hype. That Minecraft movie. Yeah, Minecraft movie. It might flop. I don't know. It's definitely not for me. It's definitely not for me. So, all right. That's pretty much all the DCU news right there. That's all the DCU news right there. So, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now we move over to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right. Elizabeth Olsen. I don't know. She's probably getting so annoyed with being asked about Scarlet Witch with every interview, with everything that she's promoting. They're always asking her about, hey, are you returning for Scarlet Witch? You returning? She said it many times. She said she's pitched ideas. She says she, has ideas. She doesn't know about this and that and this and that. And then, of course, we have this article from the Hollywood Reporter, which is a funny article, because they barely in this article do they talk about Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. Okay? Barely do they talk about it. Here's the article right here. The assessment star, Elizabeth Olsen, on newfound importance of her non-Marvel choices. The seasoned MCU star confirms she will not appear in the upcoming Avengers movies, but will instead shoot her first pilot for FX. That's right. So she's talking about this, and through all this, doesn't really talk about much. I mean, she's promoting her new everything, all her new stuff. She's got her new sci-fi drama, The Assessment, which is currently in theaters. I've heard good things, and I definitely do want to see it. I saw the trailer. And then she just kind of talks about prioritizing this. And then, of course, right here, this is where they just talk about it. It's not really much right here. As for the future of her fan-favorite Marvel character, Olsen confirms that she's not going to be part of the Russo Brothers' two upcoming Avengers movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars. The back-to-back productions are gearing up to shoot in London soon, and Olsen just returned to the U.S. after wrapping Sam Esmail's Panic Carefully in London. I'm moving on to filming a pilot for FX. That's all. That's all she said. That's all she said, really. And there's like another mention further down that basically said, they asked, I believe you're working on, of course, Panic Carefully in London. Do you know yet if Joe and Anthony Russo are going to be extending your stay? And she said, no, I'm back in the States. I just finished Panic Carefully. I'm moving on to filming a pilot for FX, which is called Seven Sisters. So after all that, that's where all of a sudden you're seeing all these reports of like, she's not returning. And I'm just kind of going like, pump the brakes, everyone. Jesus Christ. That's what's so funny about the current state of all this. She says all that. She's like, no, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be filming this and that and this. And I would imagine that in those two movies, first off, maybe she's not even going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Maybe that. Secret Wars, different story, because that's not going to be filming. Who knows when Secret Wars is actually going to start filming. And I can't imagine that she's going to have like a huge role in any of these movies where she could probably just be like, okay, you need me for this amount of time. She jumps over to London. She's on a soundstage. Maybe she's going to have some kind of cool little entrance. Something's going to happen. But again, we must learn that this shit is very secretive, okay? Do I have to bring up Andrew Garfield again and him saying he's like the werewolf or whatever the fuck, that whole thing? I mean, they're not going to say anything. Nobody's going to say whether they're in something or not. You just can't do that. There's NDAs. There's all this kind of stuff. But it's just kind of funny how you take that. She just basically was like, nope, I'm not in London. I'm about to film a pilot for FX. That's all she said. It's like, nope, she's not going to be in the Avengers movies. That's all. So I think she'll probably have something. is basically what I'm saying here. She'll have something. So there you go. Let's not freak out. And now for the Snow White box office. Come on. Come on. You know, people, that her haircut looks very much like Lord Farquaad right there. Come on. You know it's right. You know it's right. But yes, guys, I posted that little clip yesterday, and I was like, I'll just post it right now because I was like, when you see the box office numbers for Snow White, it's off. It's off to a rough start. It's definitely off to a rough start. It definitely is. Definitely. And we had some rough numbers yesterday. You know, anytime on Sunday, they always have rough numbers. That's why you always see zeros. You always see zeros behind it because they never have the actual numbers. Now we have the official numbers right here. And, when it comes to Snow White, it's not good. It's start off pretty rough right here. Snow White, of course, took the top spot at least with $42.2 million at the domestic box office weekend. That's right. And then you can see the full numbers right here. 43.9 when it comes to international, 86.1. So they just rounded everything. You know, everything was saying like 87 or whatever the hell. So, so we got box office numbers right there. It is kind of interesting that the international and domestic are almost like a 50-50 split right there, 49-51. Pretty interesting. So, rough start. We got Black Bag, which was second, which everyone should go see. This movie is one of the best movies of the year so far, God damn it. Really good. It's sitting at essentially $24 million. Definitely not making its money. So. And then, of course, Brave New World. Hey, I was wrong, guys. Look at that. I was wrong. I did not think that Captain America Brave New World was going to cross $400 million. But look at that. It crossed $400 million. 401.3. Crazy. And then, of course, we had the Alto Nights, which is Robert De Niro's new film that he plays dual characters, which I saw the trailer and I'm like, all right, I definitely do want to see that. Totally forgot that it was coming out this weekend until I was at the movie theater and I saw that it was playing there. I went, oh shit, that's playing there too. But again, the marketing sucks nowadays when it comes to these movies and they don't get any attention. You have a Robert De Niro movie where he's playing two roles. It's a gangster type movie that takes place in New York City. Crime bosses, all the things. And not a lot of people knew about it. $5 million. Tell you what, man, do I have to create like a website and an app maybe to just like let people know that, hey, things are coming out? You get some notification. I don't know. It's just something. It's just crazy. Just crazy. Then, of course, Mickey 17 crossed $100 million, but, it costs like 110, something like that. So it's going to lose some money. But I have a feeling that Mickey 17 is going to be like a culty, classic-y kind of thing. I really hope so because I really enjoyed that movie. So there's your box office right there. Snow what? That's pretty good. I like that. Better than Snow Woke. I always, when I hear woke, I just go, ugh. Because that woke is out there so much. I mean, I get it. But I think after this weekend and maybe obviously the following weekend, I'm like, all right, I've talked enough about Snow White. I went and saw it. I talked about the controversies. I talked about it all. I've talked about it all. Enough with Snow White. We can move on. Forget about it. Because I think Disney is going to get they're going to make a profit on Lilo and Stitch. I just have a feeling that Lilo and Stitch is going to be their big bag for this week. I think it might be the biggest movie of the year. To be honest, I think that movie's going to do gangbusters. Moving along to the Saw franchise. What the F is happening with Saw 11? Well, apparently it's canceled. We already heard about that. And it's so funny because when we heard that it was canceled, I remember that there were people that were saying that, one of the reasons why is because Tobin I can't remember his last name, the guy who plays Jigsaw, or John Kramer. You know, he's old. He's older. And they were thinking, somebody told me, oh, yeah, he's got health issues. And I was like, no, it wasn't exactly that. Wasn't exactly that. So we got this article right here. And it's very interesting because there was like a couple of things that came out, but we got this exclusive article from Hollywood Reporter right here. Saw 11 removed from Lionsgate calendar. Stranger Things Chapter 2 takes its slot. Exclusive! Saw 11 writer Patrick Melton previously told the Hollywood Reporter that the horror sequel was dealing with intersquabbling. So yes, the last we heard that there was squabbling that was happening between Lionsgate and producers. So that's what it says right there, that there was intersquabbling. On Monday, Lionsgate shared a cheeky statement from Billy the Puppet. That's right, this little dude right there, Billy. It's so funny because I never knew his name until like last year. Billy the Puppet. So they shared something right there, and they said, I've seen the rumors. They say it's game over. You all should know me better than that. The game is never over. So yeah, and then of course we have The Strangers Chapter 2, which took its place, which I heard the prequel to The Strangers I heard that was an absolute shit sandwich. And I was like, oh yeah, but there's a sequel coming out. Interesting. I saw the first Strangers movie with Liv Tyler and what's his name, and I was like, it was good, but then it was like, well, sorry, I was going, see, I don't even see, okay, it must have been somewhere else. But yeah, I was like looking at their Twitter, Lionsgate Twitter, but it wasn't there. They're just showing the other shit. But so I don't know. But what was very interesting though, is let's see. I remember I even retweeted it myself because he talked about the writer, that same writer. He talked about what the story plot was actually going to be. And if you guys remember last year, I talked about seeing Saw X finally. I hadn't seen Saw X. For some reason, I just didn't see it in the theaters. And I saw Saw X and I talked about how kind of brilliant and how fucked up it kind of was. You know, because Tobin Bell, they're bringing him back and he's older, but it's like they literally killed Jigsaw in the third movie and we're on Saw 10. The fact that they've kept this franchise going for so long after killing the literal, Jigsaw character in the third movie. I mean, they tried their best to kind of like, okay, then he's had these proteges and everything. And those movies were fine. They're just not as good and everything. But then when it came to the Jigsaw movie, they brought it back and they did a really crafty little thing about, parallel stories, and it worked for the most part. And then when it came to Saw X, it was like, okay, but it's just kind of like a almost prequel-esque and everything. And then I even said, I told you guys that I thought it was clever and kind of just, but it was also kind of twisted because I'm like, how dare you guys do this? You guys are now, somehow you definitely brought John Kramer back, and then you had it where you're really making us sympathize with him. He saves this little girl, and then all of a sudden he's like killing these bad corporate people. And I went, oh shit, if they move forward with the Saw franchise, John Kramer, Jigsaw, is going to be a hero for hire type of dude, and he's going to go after these really bad people this time around. And sure enough, right here, Saw X1, obviously Saw 11 writer, says there's still hope that the film will be made and teases plot. It taps into the same themes of Saw X, Saw 10, where you're a citizen, you feel angry and frustrated with something, you feel like you can't do anything, and John Kramer's going to do it. Hero for hire, right there. So yeah, you got some very evil people. He's going to be that hero for hire, that anti-hero type. And I'm like, yep, I knew exactly. When you see the end of Saw X, you kind of just go, I see what they're doing right there. But at the same time, it can't be present day. That's the only thing, is it can't be present day. That's where it's a little rough, because he died and he literally got killed in the third movie. But hey, if they could figure it out and it still happens, I'm going to watch it. But I think just ending it at 10, fine. It was perfectly fine with me. They could have ended it at 3, and that would have been fine. They're going to end up rebooting the whole thing. It's going to happen. They're just going to reboot it. That's my guess. But who knows? I could be wrong. The Strangers was good. Then they spun it off to Your Next, and then other knockoff, yeah. Maybe it's one of those retcon sequels. Could be that. It could be doing something like that. But I mean, what's his name? He's up there. He's up there, man. Tobin Bell, right? That's his last name. He's up there, you know. So I just don't know. I'm not sure if you ever get like a follow, you're like, what the fuck? I just got followed by somebody on Twitter, and he's wearing like a suit. I don't know. Sometimes when I go to my notifications and you see like somebody in their profile picture, they're in a suit, and you're going, what? I don't know. It's interesting. I always kind of wonder when you see something like that, you're like, what is that person following? What did they see that made them want to follow me? What's going on with that? All right, let's see what we got here. Making sure that there's not craziness. All right, I think we're good. No craziness. No craziness. Going to the Twitter questions. All right. Let's start off with Eric right here. Hey, Dave, while I expect Lilo and Stitch to do well, do you think the Snow White debacle will get Disney to dial back on all the remakes a bit? I hope so. You know, somebody did bring up a good point that Mufasa had a rough start as well, and it ended up being pretty good. But I don't think that's going to happen with this. Again, they should have just made Snow White entirely an animated CGI movie. They should have just did it. Cooper Knox, lessons for Disney to take away from the Snow White disaster. Stop hiring actresses who carry heavy baggage with them. Otherwise, they will sink your movie. Well, at the time, you don't think that. That's the only thing, Cooper, is the fact that it's like, you know, the controversies behind Rachel and Gal were not present when they got hired on. I think they just saw the rising star and somebody who can actually sing in Rachel Zegler. They saw, hey, holy shit, she could be a perfect Snow White and blah, blah, blah. And not to mention we can get, of course they were thinking, hey, we get some brownie points because she's not white. So why not? Of course, that ended up backfiring. When it came to Gal was at top of her game as well. But then, of course, all the controversy when it comes to what's happening in the Middle East and how that just went crazy, that also affected too. So, I mean, that all basically was happening after they initially started shooting the movie. And yeah, they probably won't hire Rachel again. That's for damn sure. We got Stoned Rabbit right here. Hello, Dave. Here, Nikolai Vega. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Vega? Good to see you. Do you have an approximate date to the second Superman trailer? My guess, we got CinemaCon. That's going to be happening next week. My guess is we're probably going to get the full Superman trailer definitely in the next couple of weeks. Definitely in the next couple of weeks. I think they're going to actually, my guess when it comes to that Superman trailer, they're going to show it at CinemaCon. And then we're going to hear things. We're going to hear people talk about it. They're not going to release it right away. I think they're going to try to create that word of mouth, which could work in their favor for sure. Kenny, Dave, I just watched the super amazing 3-part documentary on DC Comics. Great documentary, but they couldn't include everything like Smallville, for example. Also, most of the interviews were archival, not a ton of new interviews. I think I heard about that. I'll have to check that out. It's on HBO Max. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, I remember that was on there. I think I actually started watching it, but yeah, it wasn't. I heard it wasn't anything like crazy, whatever. But and then of course we have still super excited. Yep, I'm excited. I'm with you there, Kenny, for sure. Devin Wootier, Dave, what is your prediction for Snow White box office for the second weekend? It's probably going to have a pretty significant drop. I just watched The Matrix 2, great movie. Do you have a favorite scene? Oh, I love the scene that you're showing right there when Neo versus the Smiths. Pretty damn awesome. That was badass. What's your worst movie of all time? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I think I just saw it last Thursday. No. Snow White was not the worst movie of all time. Come on. I hate it when I see that hyperbole shit. I just hate the hyperbole sometimes. It's just annoying. They said, Dave, there's been a lot of questions about the tone of Superman. Well, James Gunn sort of answered that back. Yeah, he did. I remember that. I remember he talked about that, the unique...
So what was the overall goal with the film's tone to differentiate from other...
Yeah, he talks about the tone right here.
adaptations as well as each character too.
I think that for me it was about creating that Superman tone that kept all the traditional things that we love about Superman, about the hope, the human goodwill, the sort of Boy Scout goofiness of Superman. But also he's placed in a world that's a little bit different, and to create something that was not so traditional.
She's so pretty.
Film,
sorry, I got distracted, James. What?
We present the grounded yet Silver Age look, the way that we really delve into these guys' characters in a way that a Superman film hasn't before. In the way that it's about Superman, not just in the obstacles that he faces from the outside, but the interior obstacles he's facing. So I think those are all things that are the same and they're different from other Superman representations.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we played that video when that came out too. But yeah, I said I like what he has to say right there. There's nothing wrong with that. He's put into a different world that we haven't seen before, and that's the big thing that I kept on going. Yeah, it's kind of cool that there's a world that has a bunch of heroes that are already very much existed, and they're sponsored, which is crazy. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, do you think Superman needs to have Mr. Terrific be relegated to the side like every other hero in the film and have Superman by himself versus Lex, especially in the final act, because this is the first Superman? I mean, that's what could happen. It's going to be interesting because we know that Hawk Girl and good old Guy Gardner seems like they are just not about what he's doing. Maybe they'll help, but he's not. And it seems like maybe Mr. Terrific is going to be... He's like working with Superman, but probably got his own little vendetta as well. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. And of course, Kenny, my favorite DC superheroes are Superman, Supergirl, The Flash, Barry Allen, Wonder Woman, and the Batman. Like it. Oops. Mr. Nobody, we already know Jason's Lobo will show up in a small scene or maybe 2 scenes in Supergirl. How impactful do you think Lobo will be, and why appear in Supergirl? What's the connection? I think it's just because Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow doesn't have Lobo in it, but it takes place out in the cosmos, and he's the bounty hunter out in the cosmos. So why not? I hope that there's enough of an impact that maybe he will get his own movie or something, some kind of low budget thing that they could do. They could have like a pretty good impact, something different, something, I don't know. Seems like they're going to have more than just this for him. And then finally, Jamon Watson. Hey, Dave, it's a good time for horror movies getting their groove back. We have Final Destination 6 teaser coming tomorrow, and Ryan Coogler's Sinners coming up till April. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a Final Destination fan. I think the 4th movie sucks really bad. It wasn't that. It was really not. That's the worst one of all. That was when they were trying to do the 3D thing. They did that with the Saw franchise too, Saw 3D, and that was like the worst one I think too. But I think all the other Final Destination movies have been pretty good. I'm kind of curious about this one and how it all ties together, because that's going to be the case. I still have a feeling that Devon Sawa is going to show up in this. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, and then Sinners. I'm hoping Sinners ends up being a crowd pleaser and brings in some butts into the seats. I think it has potential. It looks really good. Looks definitely really good. Coogler is an awesome filmmaker, and Michael B. Jordan is just, he's pure star power. I love that shot of him with that fucking Tommy gun. It's slow motion. Just like, it's just a badass shot right there that ends that trailer. So hopefully it'll be good. All right, guys, that ends the show today. Appreciate you guys spending some time with me as always. If you're subscribed to the Patreon, you'll get a post show. I'll try to post it tonight. Sometimes I forget and I post it in the morning, but I'll try to make sure I post it tonight. So just talk about the show, talk about maybe things that I missed or whatever. And thank you guys, of course. for tuning in. Hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to become a member, we do a members-only stream after Wednesday shows. So do that, and anybody who's a member or a patron, appreciate the support, appreciate supporting the pirate ship. Every little bit helps, guys. It's definitely growing. Hopefully check out the Rocket stream. I did post about a 18-minute video talking to Josh Harp, the State Farm Joker, and basically the portion that I cut out was just him specifically talking about that shoot. So that is on the channel. Check that out if you don't want to watch the entire thing, or check out, like I said, like the first 2 hours with Josh and Joey. We talk about all kinds of things, and it was a great conversation, and hopefully we'll have them back on again in the future, because I really like talking to those guys. Really good stuff. All right, guys. Love ya, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Talk to you later.